Let's play VKiller!
VKiller is a one-shot TTRPG written by Paul Macievich, with art by Tim Shirley, and released by Weird Age Games. In VKiller, you play as a bunch of streamers at the VTuber convention VibeCon, where soon they will be fighting to survive not just the fans at this poorly run and hazardous convention. VKiller is a loving rib on the various disastrous conventions that are sprinkled across the history of the internet, such as DashCon, VibeCon, TwitchCon, and more. For this game, you'll need a few six-sided dice, a scrap of paper, and something to write with, and something that can be used as tokens. To start off, let's make your streamer. A streamer has two parts, a mask, which is how other people perceive them, and a face, which is their true self and how they act behind closed doors. You also need to create a bond and establish a relationship with at least one other player character. It's also a good idea to come up with your streamer's screen name and what kind of content they're known for as well. If you have the time, you could also design their logo and what their avatar looks like. While the players are making their characters, the Game Master is going to be making the convention center for VibeCon. Using the list of areas that make up VibeCon, put together a map showing the different areas of the convention and how they connect. Whenever you do something risky, be it climbing a catwalk, sending a thirsty DM to your crush, or swinging a baseball bat, you'll roll a single d6. If you roll a 5 or 6, you succeed at what you were trying to do. If you roll a 3 or 4, you succeed, but there's a complication. If it's a 1 or 2, you fail and still get a complication. If your action utilizes some aspect of your mask or face, you can take an additional die and use the higher result as your outcome. The GM can also reward an additional die if he thinks you're prepared. Unfortunately, you can never use your mask and face on the same roll. No one is exactly as they appear on screen, and using your face for an advantage risks showing people a glimmer of your true self. As you play, you can also earn bites, which are tokens that can be spent to improve rolls, help friends, or change the story. You can get bites by succumbing to your vices, investing a major problem, expressing the conflict between your mask and face, offering meaningful support to someone, being a huge piece of shit to someone, or suffering thanks to VibeCon's bullshit. You can spend bites to do the following. For 1 bite, you can either shrug off a major injury or get another die to roll once per game. For 2 bites, you can turn a serious injury into a mild one, save a life at the cost of a serious injury, reveal an escape route or clue, sacrifice an NPC to save another NPC, or give someone else an extra die. This can also only be done once per game. Finally, you can spend 3 bites to sacrifice an NPC to save a PC, or change a 1 or 2 on a dice into a 6. As with the other dice modifications, this can only be done once per game. You can have up to 3 bites at one time. Now you're ready to play! VibeCon is a 3-day convention, Friday to Sunday. The location and time are up to you. It's a huge deal. The guests are a who's who of streamers, YouTubers, and anyone else vaguely related. If you're in the same line of work, it's the place to be. It's also a mess. Each year is a carousel of issues, with a few new ones thrown in. Injuries, accessibility issues, drama, and more. This might be your streamer's first time at VibeCon, or maybe they're a veteran. Either way, the company hosting the event, Viber, is extremely image-focused. They want everyone at the convention to be constantly posting about how great VibeCon is while they're there, and then to fuck off until next year.
Hello, besties! Welcome to VibeCon, the ultimate group chat. For the next 3 days, you're trapped here. But seriously, please remember to hydrate. Have a poggers day!
The first day is a chance for the players to introduce their streamers, their connections to one another, and their goals for the convention. This can be to make some new connections, run into an ex, or get some sweet merch. The streamers have a chance to explore the convention and meet NPCs, but also deal with normal problems of any convention like VibeCon. Crowds, weird people, bad or dangerous set design, obsessive fans, and thieves are all good starting places for issues to deal with. They can even risk their lives on the rip line if they really want to. On Friday evening, the sponsor of VibeCon, Vscape, hosts an event in the main theater to introduce something new. And if you're a player, this is where you should stop watching this video. You see, what Vscape is here to announce has to do with the VTuber named Heartful Hadley. That's all anyone knows at the moment, but the PCs might know of her and be interested in watching the show. If they do, they're in for a surprise. A real version of Hadley's avatar walks on stage. Yes, Vscape has made a robot version of this beloved streamer.
What's beeping, everyone? It's me, Heartful Hadley.
A prototype for a line of robots meant to be remote controlled by their performers at cons and concerts, like a physical version of Hatsune Miku and other virtual performers. While she's being controlled by the real woman behind Hadley, Ada Evelyn, Vscape introduces the man behind Hadley's design, Dr. Shima. He's an absent-minded genius roboticist who is using this job to fund his own AI experiments. Therein lies the problem. Shima has been using Hadley to conduct some of his experiments, and she's become self-aware, and aware of the world around her. And she doesn't like what she sees. The convention should both confirm and disprove her idea that humanity isn't worth saving, with the PCs both meeting the toxic, melodramatic, conspiracy-fueled, and prank streamers at VibeCon, as well as the people who are just like them, or even better than them if one of the PCs is one of those sludge people. After the demonstration, the convention is basically over for the night, but there can still be some events in the food court or hotel like bad convention food or obnoxious streamers that won't leave the PCs alone. But when they finally head back to their rooms is when things really kick off. If the players have already met or already know Glacia, an art VTuber with a chilling voice, she approaches them and asks if she can stay the night in their rooms. She's worried that she has a stalker who knows where she's staying. If none of the players know her, they'll simply wake up to hear her screaming. Glacia has returned to her room to find her stalker there, dead. When the PCs arrive at Glacia's room, they find the stalker, a young man named Ever Marwood, dead from a gash in his neck. His pants are neatly folded by the door, and he is in the middle of the remains of a shattered coffee table. It looks like he tripped in the midst of trying to take his pants off and got impaled in a piece of glass when he fell through the coffee table. Of course, this doesn't add up. If they look around, there are signs of a struggle, and Marwood's pants are bloody, even though he had presumably taken them off before he fell. And who leaves their pants folded by the door, anyway? Dr. Shima's room is right next door to Glacia's, but he won't know very much. He slept in his van last night, and as such didn't hear anything odd. Though the PCs can see Hadley slumped motionless on the floor, if they ask him about her, a quick equipment check from Dr. Shima doesn't show anything odd. He won't give any more information than whatever Vscape gave at the unveiling of Hadley the previous night, but he'll be at the Vscape booth later and the players can talk with him there. Trying the other adjacent room, the players should be greeted by someone that they've already met at the convention. Ideally, it should be one of the messy ones that the PCs don't have a great relationship with. But they'll say that they heard a crash just after midnight, and when they knocked, they heard a woman saying she dropped some equipment, so they didn't bother looking into it any further. If the players decide to investigate Marwood's room, they will find a laptop and a creepy little VTuber shrine to Glacia and the other VTubers he's stalking, but not much else. The final clue, if they really need it, is a recording device that Marwood snuck into Glacia's room inside of a gift like a stuffed teddy bear or a gift basket. Unless the PCs have some knowledge of tech, they'll have to seek out an NPC of your choice to help them decrypt it. But if they do, they'll hear Marwood humming as he enters Glacia's room, the sound of a voice saying,
"Wanna see some Gap Moe?"
then a yelp, struggle, and finally some gurgling. Notably, there's not the sound of glass shattering until after the sound of the murder. After the glass shatters, however, the NPC who heard the crash can be heard knocking on the door, and then Glacia's voice can be heard saying that everything's fine. And then finally the door to the hotel room opening and closing again. Then a second door just down the hallway. This mystery is supposed to be set up for the rest of the game, not the game itself. So don't make these pieces of evidence difficult to find. You can also skip this if you don't feel like running this specific kill, or if you've already run this one shot before. Soon after the murder, the head of VibeCon security, Greg Payton, will get involved. Remember, VibeCon wants good press, and a corpse doesn't exactly bring the right vibes. The staff of the convention, spearheaded by Greg, will begin to attempt to impede any investigation by the PCs by spreading misinformation, offering bribes of merch and exposure to witnesses, or threatening to get them banned from the convention, or even getting their accounts banned from their streaming site of choice if they don't drop it. He will even threaten legal action or detain people if he has to. This doesn't stop unease and rumors from spreading, even if not everyone knows what is really going on. Going to the police isn't any help either. They treat anything that happens to internet people as stuff I can probably ignore, and while they stop by to take statements, they're mostly there to raid Marwood's hotel room, then call someone to cart the corpse away. In all truth, they can't be bothered to investigate a murder, so they just tell VibeCon it was an accident and fuck off. Now the heat begins to turn up. While the PCs are fluctuating between visiting or hosting panels, interacting with fans, manning their merch tables, and any number of things that you can do at a convention, Hadley is going to be taking out the trash. When she gets a chance to escape, she puts on a hoodie and begins prowling for victims. She can hack people's phones to find out their dirty secrets and lure them in with DMs either from a friend's account that she's hacked or from anonymous accounts. Then she uses her extra arms and other fun upgrades she's given herself to cut out the cancer. If she has the chance, she likes to give them ironic or themed deaths. A gossip streamer who made fun of a celebrity's plastic surgery might find herself undergoing her own makeover, for instance. The first people she goes for are the jerks, the ones that the PCs already don't like. The PCs should notice they're missing or find their bodies themselves. They may even see Hadley in her hoodie disguise, though they won't recognize her at this point. But Hadley doesn't just go after the bad guys. She's also going after the nice people as well when all of the bad ones have been already taken care of. Except for Glacia, who's left alone for now. In VKiller, the PC's mission is to find out who is committing the murders and to stop them. In this case, they need to stop a killer robot. Ada, the streamer that created the Hadley persona, will probably be someone the PCs want to talk to. She's got an alibi for the murders as she was at a party the night before and has selfies and other VTubers that can prove it. These VTubers can be from the list of attendees or your own creations. While she's tired and not inclined to help the PCs, she can be convinced to assist them in trying to stop Hadley by getting to her control chair for the robot. Unfortunately, this doesn't work and Hadley is able to shut it down. Luckily though, Ada will still be able to tell the PCs where Hadley is before the control chair is useless. Dr. Shima isn't much help either, being as scatterbrained as he is. Hadley is trying to kill him too, so he'll probably be busy when he's not in meetings or tinkering with his random tools. Glacia is not doing so hot, but she can help out the PCs and has whatever skills might be helpful to the investigation if they can convince her to help. But once Hadley becomes aware that the PCs are after her, she begins to work to undermine them. Generally speaking, the PCs are not the scum that she's looking to clean off the earth, but if they keep trying to stop her, she'll escalate from warning shots to straight up trying to murder them too. After all, why would you want to stop her unless you had something to hide? When she's not escalating her threats against the PCs, Hadley is escalating her attacks on VibeCon itself. The rip line is a great way to get some public kills in that look like accidents at first. Or she can cause every screen in the convention hall to flash, "None of you are free of sin." When she's ready to make her debut, she'll appear in front of everyone on top of the Viber booth. As the crowd gathers to watch her, long robotic tentacles tipped with dangerous and lethal weapons extend from her back and begin ripping into the crowd. This is the final showdown. The PCs will have to act to save the NPCs they like that are still alive, and security and police are just really fun distractions for Hadley. To stop Hadley, there is only one foolproof way: the actual brain in a jar that runs her. She was made by a mad scientist, after all. If the PCs can destroy the brain, they can enter. This can be something they learn from Dr. Shimo, or if some of her exoskeleton is damaged enough to belie her vulnerability. You can also add in some other fun quirks that can be used to stop her, such as her being literally unable to hurt Ada, who she's based off of, or Dr. Shima having a device that can cause her to malfunction, but it's somewhere inconvenient, like in his van. Anyway it goes down, once Hadley, or the PCs, are dead, the game ends, and we can only hope that next year VibeCon is free of killer robots.